Hey Capricorn, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. I'm Erica. Why don't you sit a spell and I'll talk about the stars some. Let me go ahead and address the construction noise that you probably hear outside. It is right at my front doorstep. They are busting up asphalt and are going to be laying concrete. So there you have it. Mercury in retrograde is visiting my very front doorstep. All right. Capricorn, on September the 1st, you will be experiencing a new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Virgo. The Sabian symbol of 9 degrees Virgo reads, two heads looking up and beyond the shadows. And when I meditated on this Sabian symbol, what I kept coming back to was the visual image of people emerging from a storm shelter or emerging from like a bomb shelter and just canvassing and analyzing the layout of their new reality, of their new land, of their new surroundings. And that's really indicative of what eclipse season is a new perspective on what is going on around us. So this 9-degree new moon eclipse in Virgo is occurring for you in the 9th house. That is covered by foreign people, foreign places, foreign things, legal system matters, religion, philosophy, higher education, adventures and questing, and long distance trips. This new moon solar eclipse will be experiencing a T-square from Saturn and Sagittarius in your 12th house to Neptune and Pisces in your 3rd house. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. I made a diagram because I'm crafty and fancy. Not really. This is where the new moon will be occurring for you. This is your 9th house where the sun, moon, and Jupiter are right now. This represents where Mars and Saturn are in Sagittarius in your 12th house. And this represents where Neptune is in Pisces in your 3rd house. And you are going to feel like you are being pulled in about 3 different areas. It's going to present an energy of tension, worry, or concern for you in at least one of these 3 houses. It could be many different aspects of different houses. It just really depends. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and it is the house of limitation, repression, karma, self-undoing, secret enemies, secrets that you keep from yourself, and dreams. And the 3rd house that will be experiencing this square to the 12th and the 9th, the 3rd house is ruled by Gemini, and it is the house of communication, short distance journeys, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Communication can cover your technological devices that get your message out to the world, your phone, your tablet, your computer, modem devices, gaming devices. Can also cover your the means of commute, meaning your vehicle, how you get from point A to point B. It can also affect how you speak and how you think, or how people hear and interpret what you say. What you say may not be what other people hear. Just try to reiterate what you're saying and get clarification from those if there's any confusion whatsoever. And don't be afraid to just say, you know what, there was miscommunication, because ultimately that's going to be going on with Mercury in retrograde during this period as well. On the 9th, we have Jupiter moving into Libra, which for you is your 10th house. And that is the house of career, status, reputation, authorities, authority figures, and destiny. Jupiter will be expanding this area for you for the next year. So you should be having expansion, achievement, and even excess in your career, your status, or your reputation. It could feel like a very destined time for you. So congratulations, Capricorn. On the 9th, we have some pretty harsh energy going on. It's Saturn squaring Neptune. Saturn is in Sagittarius, having an exact square to Neptune and Pisces between your 12th and your 3rd house. The 12th house, once again, is ruled by Pisces and is the house of secrets, dreams that you keep from yourself, secret enemies, self-undoing, karma, repression, limitations as well. The 3rd house is communication, siblings, neighbors and cousins, and short distance journeys. Now, if you're watching this video at the release date, you can go ahead and fast forward to the Tarot and Oracle portion, because the rest of this is going to speak to the astrology for the second half of September. If you're back for the second half of September astrology, welcome back, and let's continue. On the 16th of the month, we'll have a full moon prenumbral lunar eclipse at 24 degrees of Pisces in your third house. The third house is ruled by Gemini, and it is the house of communication, short distance journeys, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Communication can cover your technological devices that you use to get your message or your voice out into the world. That can be your phone, your tablet, your computer, the modem, or gaming devices that you use. Could also touch on your commute, how you get from point A to point B, your vehicle. And it could also speak to how you speak or how you are interpreted by others or how you understand others as well. So that'll be occurring for us on the 16th. On the 22nd, we have the sun moving into Libra, which is your 10th house. The 10th house is the house of career, status, reputation, authorities, and destiny. On the same day, we'll have Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, and movement, standing still, going in his post-retrograde movement in your 9th house. The 9th house is the house of legal system matters, religion, foreign places, foreign people, foreign things, philosophy, higher education, long-distance trips, adventures, and questing. Pardon me. I have some incense going. I've got my air conditioner going in the background. It's kind of getting to me a little bit. It'll be all right. On the 24th, we have Venus, the planet of love, harmony, and beauty, moving into Scorpio, which is your 11th house. The 11th house covers your bucket list, the wishes and goals that you have or the dreams that you might aspire to achieve. It also speaks to the friends, groups, and associations that you may have membership of. So that's pretty cool. Might feel like a really nice energy at that point in your friends and groups. You may feel like the belle of the ball, Capricorn. On the 28th, we have Mars, the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, moving into your first house, Capricorn. Mars is moving into Capricorn. And Pluto is hanging out in your first house, too. So you're going to have the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression meeting up with the planet of deep renewal and deep transformation. So you're going to be dealing with a lot of energy come about the 28th and on. Not a bad thing. Go ahead and try to use exercise as a means to work through some of this Mars energy so you're not feeling very aggressive to those around you. Exercise is one of the best ways to channel the Mars energy when it's in your first house. Just be careful because Pluto's there too, and if you're not careful, you might have some deep transformation on your physical level, on your bodily appearance, and that would be pretty awesome. On the 30th of September, we have a new moon at 8 degrees of Libra in your 10th house. And once again, this is career, status, destiny, authority figures, authorities, and your reputation. So that would be a good time for you to plant a seed or two when it comes to your career, your status, your reputation. Or you may be having Jupiter bless you with some destiny. Anyways, Capricorn, that's what's going on for you in the astrology part of this reading. I'm going to go ahead and transition over to the tarot portion. Once again, I apologize for all of the construction noises in the background. This noise canceling mic is doing the best that it can to pick up my voice and not their shenanigans outside. So thank you so much for watching this channel and for staying tuned. I appreciate it more than you know. And I'll be right back, y'all. So hang tight. Hey Capricorn, I'm back. I've been shuffling and meditating over the cards, asking for the general messages for my Capricorn friends for the September new moon. But before I start pulling, doing some shuffling on camera for you, I'm also going to pull you an oracle card or two from the Butterfly Oracle card deck for Life Changes by Doreen Virtue. Also going to pull a Sacred Rebels Oracle card from this deck by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison, and it is a favorite of many of the viewers that have been here for the last little bit. I've gotten a lot of positive comments on it. There are some of you that's even gone out and purchased it yourself, which is awesome. I'm so happy. I'm glad I could share it with you. It definitely spoke to my rebel heart. You know, Capricorn, you might be dealing with sleeping issues. You might be having a hard time sleeping. You might be very tired, or you might be having insomnia. Or you may be just sleeping too much, oversleeping. You may be getting messages in your sleep because you have a lot of 12th house and 3rd house energy. 3rd house is communication, 12th house is dreams. So I would say dreams through communication through dreams. Also karmic communication would also be pretty cool. Just watch what you're saying, because watch your boundaries in communication, because it's Neptune and Pisces, and that's dealing with boundaries. So just try your best not to step on anybody's toes. And Capricorn, you're known for being sometimes over serious. So just speak your truth in love. If they don't get it, they don't get it. It's okay. You don't have to prove them yourself right. For my Capricorn friends, for the September new moon. The place to plant your seed is in the 9th house. Religion, philosophy, higher education, long distance trips, adventures or questing, possibly to foreign places to meet foreign people and see foreign things, or even legal system matters. That's where the new moon will be for you, Capricorn. I'm gonna do one more shuffle. Okay, you had a card fall. That was pretty funny because I didn't even actually see it come out of my hand. And since I didn't see it, what I'm going to do is just put it up here and go ahead and cut. I'm going to do the bottom card for the underlying theme or the overarching energy, and the top 3 for clarity. And as promised, I'm going to pull you a butterfly oracle card or 2 from this deck by Doreen Virtue for Life Changes. For my Capricorn friends, for the September new moon. I'm also going to pull the bottom one. I've been normally pulling 2 cards from this deck. And now the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck for my Capricorn friends for the September, new moon. Stuff is sticking together. These cards are, and I mean, it's not like they're sticky, but it's like they won't let go of one another. It's chunks of cards, like 6, 10. I'm gonna have to cut these, I think. Yep. I'm gonna pull you the top one. Let's see what you got. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to get stuff situated so I can see what's going on. I'm going to write down the numbers for the overall total at the end of this portion of the read. Okay. The card that kind of fell out, that I didn't even see fall out, was the Seven of Cups in reverse. I read the cards where the numbers up top, if they are 1 through 12, I correlate that to an astrological house. If it doesn't, then I reduce it to a number between 1 through 12 and give it the corresponding astrological house meaning. For this, the 7th house, ruled by Libra, speaks to open enemies, counseling, how you identify with others, and partnerships. Partnerships can be business, personal, friendships, or acquaintances. You aren't having any direct astrological 7th house energy, but that doesn't mean that this can't be something that you are dealing with. I see this as being you and having a lot of choices to choose from. But the situation is foggy right now and you don't know which way to go, which is very indicative of how you probably feel right now, given that we are in the middle of eclipse season, and what you think September and October are going to look like probably won't end up being like what you planned. And that's not a bad thing, it can be a good thing, but just expectations probably won't be met on a lot of levels. So just be aware of that. Forewarned is forearmed. The cups in the cards represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I don't know why I was going to say Aquarius, but that was fixing to like jump out of my mouth. So that may mean something to you as well. It's not normally associated with the water signs, but that was fixing to jump out, so going to add it. This cloud in the background also is the silver lining, and there is silver lining in this situation and the eclipse season that you are going through, the situation that you are going through. I also think don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch when I see this card, because it looks like you think you're going to have each one of these cups filled, but because it's in the reverse, the chances are those cups could show up empty for you. So be careful with your expectations. The bottom card, the underlying theme or the overarching energy, however you choose to see it, Capricorn, is the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Wands is representative of feminine fire energy. That could be a Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. It could be their sun, moon, or rising sign. You won't know that information unless you've checked out their chart or they've given you that information, because they know it. But the Queen of Wands in reverse represents to me someone who is very impulsive, who is very ego-centered, very self-confident, and probably not in a good way, imprudent. The Queen of Wands is also known as the most promiscuous of the queens, because she's sitting here on her throne, legs spread but ready to go, and you can take that either way that you want. Ready to get up and fight, or ready to go. She's a lover and a fighter, but she's coming at you from a very subjective point of view. She's probably being very reactive and is being that lower vibrational fire sign energy that we all kind of have come across at one point or another. Obstinate, bossy, it's all about me. And I'm an Aries sun, so I mean, you know, I'm not being ugly. It is what it is. Feminine fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be their sun, moon, or rising. If it's not you, it's someone around you or close to you, or you could be dealing with someone embodying the traits of this Queen of Wands. And she may be acting like a crazy cat lady because the little cat's in reverse. The first of the three for clarity that you got was the World card in reverse. And when I see the World card, the very first thing that I think of is the internet. And I say that because of the interconnectedness of this card, and you're sharing ideas. I mean, it's literally connected to this little vine of connection, if you will. Each one of these ideas, the four corners of the world. Way back in the day when the internet was in its infancy, you had to type www before anything, and that stood for the World Wide Web. But the World as a major arcana card is the 21st card. 2 + 1 is 3. That is speaking to the third house of communication, short distance trips, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. And you are having a square in there dealing with Saturn to Neptune from your 12th house to your 3rd house. You are having 3rd house energy. You're also going to have the full moon lunar eclipse in your 3rd house as well, so it may feel like your world has been turned upside down. If you haven't experienced it, it is upcoming, so forewarned is forearmed. I believe that this is really indicating the Saturn square Neptune, because Saturn as a major arcana card represents the planet. Sorry about the construction. You could feel like this is very much what's going on, like it's a construction zone up in your world, or that there needs to be construction, or that there is destruction going on. But back to the card. The world universe represents, or this world card represents the planet Saturn. Saturn is the planet that governs structure, containment, limitation. It can also speak to bones, the skeletal system of a structure, or your skeleton. Also teeth. And because you're dealing with a Saturn square Neptune, you could be dealing with your world being turned upside down because of some sort of flooding or some sort of situation like that. Saturn is limitation, containment, and structure. And Neptune is the planet of nebulousness, illusion, imagination, but it can also represent water. There's a lot of tropical systems going on. You could be dealing with this, or you could be dealing with people overstepping their bounds in communication, or you could be overstepping your bounds in communication. So just be mindful of all of those messages. If it's not you, it's someone around you, or it's impacting you in some way. The next card that you have is the Page of Swords. I'm sorry, I've got incense going. It's getting to me. The Page of Swords is a young or an older teenager to a middle 20-year-old, like 19 to 26. This Page of Swords is a message, and it's usually, if it's a message, it's a slow-moving message, like snail mail. Could also be a child, could be an air sign child, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. That was me speaking of Aquarius. When I said Aquarius earlier, so maybe that's the tie-in. If that's the case, put down in the comments below so I can tie that together, because that was Aquarius earlier was a total diarrhea of the mouth moment, which is going to happen during Mercury retrograde, y'all. But the Page of Swords, like I said, could be a child, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. If it's not their sun, moon, or rising, you know, then they're just coming with the energy of the Page of Swords. Could be giving misinformation. It could be intentional, or it could be unintentional. I don't want to call anybody a liar. That's how I present the information. Misinformation, either intentional or unintentional. But his head is foggy. You see this cloud right here? His head is foggy, and he's not balanced. He's not coming from a balanced perspective. It's very subjective, the viewpoint that he's bringing, or she. The third card that you got was the Two of Swords in reverse, and this is, there's the moon back there. So highlighting all of this lunar activity that's going on and exacting and emphasizing the changes that need to occur in the houses that are presented in the astrological portion of this video. But the Two of Swords represents a choice, a choosing point, and not necessarily using logic to make that choice because she's blindfolded, but she may not have all of the information. You may want to wait for this decision to be made until at least Mercury gets to its post-retrograde shadow, which is September 22nd, before you make the final decision on this. That would be the earliest I would, if at all possible. I mean, if the decision has to be made, it has to be made, but understand that the details may not be all there. You may be finding out more after the fact. You may feel misled, so it could be one of those things. A lot of the colors of the all of the background color is blue. This is a very highly emotional time for you. I think this is a trust your gut moment. You are having 12th house energy as well. It could be very much between like your gut and your mind. Which way do I go? And that could be the struggle that you're dealing with, that square between Saturn and Neptune. The overall numerology of this spread was 30. 3 plus 0 is 3, and that speaks to the Gemini ruled third house of siblings, neighbors, and cousins, short distance journeys, and communication. And I've done a lot of speaking about what that house is representative of. You are having the third house being impacted on the new moon solar eclipse on the 1st, then again on the 10th when Saturn squares Neptune, then again on the 16th when there's a full moon lunar eclipse in the third house. So there's going to be a lot of communication issues. There's going to be a lot of short distance journey issues. There's going to be a lot of siblings, cousins, and neighbors issues, the people in close proximity to you. So the Sacred Rebel Oracle card that I pulled for you was, what do you feel? And I think that that is pretty indicative to this card right here. How do you feel? What do you feel? Take time to recognize that. This is a changing point for all of us. This is a shifting point for all of us. And the universe is opening doors and shutting doors, trying to get us back on the path that we need to be on. So what do you feel? Do you see how she's balancing this nutrition in her hand, that the apples and oranges, but it's also looking at the comparison and contrast of apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. And isn't it funny that there's a moon back here and there's a moon right there? That's interesting. It's almost like this is the reflection of it. This is the 9th card in the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. The 9th card speaks to the 9th house, which is the Sagittarius ruled religion, philosophy house that also covers higher education, adventures and questing, long distance trips, foreign places, foreign people, foreign things, legal system matters, astrology. It's basically your broad world view. And you are having this new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Virgo in your 9th house. Take time to recognize what exactly it is that you are feeling. Compare and contrast the ideas. Listen to your heart and listen to your mind and listen to your gut. And do your research. Contemplate on it. Use this Mercury retrograde time to fact check. Use this Mercury retrograde time to go back and make sure that where you're at in your higher education is where you need to be, or where you are in your philosophy is where you still agree, is what you still agree with. Compare and contrast your ideas with religion and where you were and where you are now. Do you still agree with it? It's okay. Just acknowledge it. You might want to journal. You are having 12th house energy. You could have stuff coming to you through your dreams. I pulled 2 butterfly cards for you. The first is new exercise program. So this is definitely calling for you to move your body, and especially when it comes to the late part of September when Mars moves into the first house of your first house, Capricorn. Moving your body would be tremendous, and it doesn't have to be a whole lot of cardio. Go for a walk, do yoga, but cardio would be a really nice way to use it too. Mars is a planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, and the best way to utilize that energy is through exercise as opposed to making it manifest towards being aggressive towards people around you. We're all extra sensitive right now, so just work it out through your workout program. If you aren't working out, this is calling you to start working out. Start slow, be gentle, and listen to your body. If you are working out, then this is calling you to a new exercise program, something different to challenge your body, because you are going to have Mars moving through your first house at the end of this month. It would be a good time for you to pick up a new exercise routine. The second card that you got, which would tie in with the exercise program, is self-care. But it also speaks to the idea of needing to employ your self-care methods, because this is a very sensitive time during this eclipse season. We've already undergone one prenumbral lunar eclipse in the middle of August. We are staring down the barrel of a new moon solar eclipse on the 1st, and then another eclipse, prenumbral lunar eclipse on the 16th. 2 lunar eclipses within 1 month, and a solar eclipse, all within Mercury shadow or Mercury retrograde. It's been intense, y'all. Self-care is definitely needed right now. Do what you need to take care of yourself. Oh, my little bracelet. Aww. It's not broken, it's a latch, but yeah, I just got a really sad feeling about the state of Louisiana. Employing your self-care measures, take your hot baths, eat your nutritious foods, sleep, get your sleep, and put the technology devices down so you can sleep. One analogy that I like to use, especially when talking about self-care, is you've got to think of yourself as a well, like a water well that people come to fill themselves up with. They're not going to come to a dry well. You have to fulfill yourself. You have to make sure that you're sustained. And one of the best ways to do that is through taking care of yourself, and that is what this card is saying. You need to make yourself a priority. Because you are the very practical sign. Because you are you're the sign that gets shit done, Capricorn. Let's get real. You're the people who get it done. And when you're when you're the boss, when you're the person who's getting it done, people rarely stop to make sure that you're okay. You need to employ your bossness in your self-care routine as well. And if you don't have one, employ it. 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes at the beginning of the day and the end of the day to clear your mind, do a little bit of stretching. It can make a big difference for you. Capricorn, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you found that it was empowering and enlightening. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope that you really did, and I'm thankful if you did like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it more than you know. Now, we are all very sensitive, Capricorn, so please watch your communication. You're having a lot of third house energy going on. Don't be mean with your words. Understand that we're all very sensitive right now. Articulate what you want, but understand you may be misunderstood. John Stewart put it best by saying you can control only 2 things, your intent and your execution. Everything else is subjective. So, clarify, reiterate if need be. Try not to bite people's heads off, because you can be overly serious at times. Understand that we're all going through this energy, just in different parts of our charts. Take care of yourself, Capricorn, and I'll be around for the full moon and the new moon to pull you some more cards. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.